on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Bella Verita, I do think that worked. It's Thankful Thursday. It's Dr. Kirk.
Dr. Kirk.
Influence. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. It really is a superpower. Bella, who's here?
Sean, we have some extraordinary people, of course, for Dr. Kirk's The Heart of Supplier Diversity, Heart of Influence. And next up from Mayfield Heights, Ohio, computer engineer by education, opened a digital marketing agency in 2004, serving companies around the world, creating publications, highlighting tech accessibility, reaching 18,000 people in the disability community globally, spun off 2 more publications, won 16,000 leaders in every licensed professional space, and another focused on AI with 20,000 readers launched only 4 months ago. Let's welcome to the show the extraordinary Aaron Blah-zee.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Hi, Sean.
That's
how are
Aaron?
You? Yeah.
Aaron, yes.
Aaron, welcome, Aaron, and thanks for being here. Plato, Aaron said, play a game with me for an hour, and we will learn more about each other than if we speak here. I'm not sure if Greek philosophers know a lot, but maybe that one did.
I think he did, yeah.
Awesome. So we asked for a fun fact as we play this game together today. The fun fact is a headline. It's not a story. It's not like, oh, in 1492. No, it's like, hey, like live free or die, like New Hampshire saying, like a headline. Fun fact, adventurous moment, proud moment, exciting, powerful moment you're proud of. Anything that would be a headline fun fact, Aaron, that would make us say, Aaron, no way. Now, Aaron, there's no pressure. You're just going to be like the leader.
Sure, no pressure, right? Okay.
No pressure. Everybody's going to follow you. Okay.
And no Britney Spears, I was informed. Okay. I'm proud to be the holder of a 3rd-degree black belt in traditional Korean Taekwondo. I studied for 20 years under the late Grandmaster Moo-hwan Kim. And I went there to learn how to fight and instead learned how to lead and how to teach and how to avoid, which was far more important to me than what I went in there for. Yeah.
I'm hearing some Mr. Miyagi, Daniel-san action.
Oh, very much. Yeah. Yep. Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3.
Let's go. Awesome job, Aaron. That is a great way to lead us off. Your leadership is present from your mentor, Sensei. It's not a Sensei. What is it in Taekwondo? The teacher is called?
Just Grandmaster. We don't have any specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grandmaster. Bell of Rita, Aaron's a Grandmaster. I think you're a Grandmaster. And who else is
I
here?
think you guys are, all of you, for sure.
Grandmasters all around, because Dr. Kirk only brings grandmasters around. And this stuff from Chicago, Illinois, building a blind and visually impaired business owners networking incubator, the disabilities accommodation and accessibility leader at a global elevator company, helping employees get necessary support to thrive internally and supporting outside partnerships and relationships. Originally a consultant with Deloitte, then held a board DEI role, became fascinated with the opportunity to serve disability community and paving a path forward. Let's welcome to the show, Kristy Vanek.
Thank you. Hi.
Kristy, thank you for being here and your headline fun fact, please.
Yes. So I am a blind woman who is an art collector, a yoga teacher, a wife, and raising a puppy who thinks that my white cane is a toy, but I'm happy he's not afraid of it. So we will get there so that he can walk with me.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, beautiful, Kristy. Appreciate that. Bella, what's coming up for me is how many people could tell if I do have oil of Olay cream on my face or not here, because I can't, and I bet a lot of these folks can't. But Bella, it's always you. So Bella, read it. Let's go.
You are looking sharp today, Sean. No olive oil on your face that I can see, and I got pretty good vision, so I think you're all right. Next up, we have from Seattle, Washington, a director of HR for a nonprofit for 50 years, grant-making advocacy and education in the arts throughout the state, focusing on numerous undeserved demographics and disability communities, putting accessibility on the forefront of their events, their hiring, and their touch. Working with the arts for 25 years, receiving this opportunity a year and a half ago, driven by the autonomy of being in a position and being part of a community. Let's welcome to the show, Annabelle Lerner.
Annabelle, welcome to Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence. Thank you for being here on this Thankful Thursday. And please, Annabelle, what is your fun fact?
I am a letterpress printer, and I work on like 100-year-old metal machines that generate powerful ways of sharing information and getting the word out. And I am part of a big letterpress community.
Whoa, I did not even know that a letterpress community existed. That's super cool. And just, you know, quick context, like letterpressing means, like for the ignorant like me?
It is the original way that printing newspapers and words and getting information out, typesetting. It's what it started in the 1600s, and it's still going strong.
Sure.
Outstanding. Appreciate that, Annabelle. Thank you for that. Belle of Rita, I think you want to letterpress me, but come on, Belle.
I do want to letterpress you for sure sometimes. That sounds fun. But next up, from Data Island, South Carolina, after law school, I don't know if that's correct. After law school started in a contract negotiation, attained an MBA, then offered his services to support employee relations and compliance. Within 30 years in human and employee relations, serving up to 100,000 employees at one point, protecting and serving individuals and companies in the needed capacity. Today, Chief HR Officer for a direct work from home call center workforce contracted by companies, associations, and agencies. He is the company psychologist and the get it done person. Let's welcome to the show, Malcolm Moore.
Malcolm, thank you for being here on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence and for the impact you're having on people's mental health and acceleration. And please, Malcolm, your fun fact.
Fun fact. Well, there was that time I got the evening phone call from the CIA.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yes. Quick story behind that. I was in law school.
You weren't like working with Lee Harvey Oswald or something, were you?
It kind of freaked me out. I will tell you that because the context was a little different. I had done a semester at the University of Western Ontario in London while I was in law school. And one evening I pick up the phone. Nobody knows I'm there except my wife. She was the only one with that phone number. Pick up the phone, hold please. So I'm freaking out. I don't know what's wrong. Can you hold for the CIA? Sure. It was the general counsel offering me an internship for that summer.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So your headline fun fact is the CIA scared the heck out of you and called you with an internship when they thought like they were going to ask you to assassinate somebody. Is that what we're hearing, Malcolm?
I didn't know what was going on, Sean.
Well, that's how I feel, Malcolm, most days being on this show with Bella Verita, so I can empathize. Bella, come on.
You're not funny. Next up from Seattle, Washington, founder and CEO of a assisted technology company dedicated to making live sports and more accessible to fans with visual disabilities by translating real-time data into spatial haptics. I think I said, I don't know if I said that right. And generative audio driven by the personal, familiar experience with disabilities and lifelong passions for sports. Let's welcome to the show, Jared Mace.
Jared, appreciate you being here on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence. And please, your fun fact. Maybe J. Edgar Hoover called you. Please.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I think my fun fact is earlier this year at CES, Stevie Wonder tried our technology. So it was a very special moment for, I think, for us and for him to experience the game in a whole new way.
That is super cool. And what did Stevie Wonder think of the dynamic?
Yeah, he thought it was awesome. Full disclosure, he's a basketball fan, so we were not working on that at the time, but we're working on it now. So, but it was great to get his feedback and to meet him.
So we're going to see Stevie Wonder taking off from mid-court dunking. Is that what we're hearing?
Well, no, more so him experiencing, the movement of the players, the ball as it's moving across the field, all through touch. So it's kind of like watching sports, but through your fingertips.
I'm so excited for this technology.
Yes, thank you for that. Bella Verita, thank you for your excitement. And who else is here?
Yes, because Sean loves sports, and I am the least descriptive person on the planet, and don't know things. And when I try to like explain, like I don't know, they're just like running the ball. They're at like some yard line. I think they threw it to like some other guy, and I think there's going to be like a touchdown or something.
Yeah, Bella is definitely not audio assist for sports.
No.
It's definitely not. She's great at many things. Audio assist is not her great mastery. Bella, please.
Definitely not. Next up from Seattle, Washington, received her PhD at Georgia Tech and is now a professor in computer science engineering at the University of Washington, directs the Center for Research and Education on Accessibility, Technology, Experience, create those with memberships with 50% disability, work to ensure technology is accessible to the world, and in its vision of the world where people with disabilities are included as leaders, technologists, and visionaries in creating that world. Let's welcome to the show, Jennifer Mankoff.
Jennifer, I'm hearing disruption. I'm hearing impact. Thank you for being here on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence. And Jennifer, please, your fun fact.
Thank you. My fun fact is that accessibility technology exists in places you wouldn't expect, like my 100-year-old seat cane and my ergonomic viola. So I like to collect and use these things, and I'm happy to talk about them anytime.
Wow, that is super cool and impressive. That is a whoa fun fact. And Jennifer, are you ready to have just a little bit of fun today on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
Looking forward to it.
Let's go. Bella, Jennifer's looking forward to it.
Let's do it. From Boise, Idaho, marketing and account manager, including social media, project management, market research and analysis, managing consultative sales, requirement gathering, pipeline management, customer service, sales campaign support, and client onboarding. digital strategist, strategy, marketing management, and brand strategy. Let's welcome to the show, Corey Pound.
Corey, I'm hearing a lot of strategy. Outstanding. And what is your fun fact?
For me, back in high school, 2 years apart, I tore both of my ACLs and got reconstructive surgery. Both times I was told you will be back to playing sports in 9 to 12 months, and both times I did it in 6. So I was very proud of that.
Well, congratulations. That is an extraordinary act of resiliency. I don't think your ACLs are at risk today, but you never. So Bella, Corey's ACLs, I think will stay intact, but let's be careful. Come on.
I think they'll stay intact as well. And let's go. Gulf, Illinois, an experienced business executive and graduate of Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Business. She completed their executive MBA program and is an executive scholar in the nonprofit organizational management, serves on 2 nonprofit boards, and is currently board president of MAC Midwest Adoption Center. She was a longtime volunteer at the Blind Service Association in Illinois and a adopted mother of a son with special needs. Let's welcome to the show, Sharon Follier.
Sharon, thank you for continuing today's theme of impact. And Sharon, your fun fact, please.
I spent many years on the board of a group called Color Marketing Group, which the Wall Street Journal refers to as the Color Mafia. And I would be happy to tell people more details about it, but basically it's the group behind all the products in your home and your business that the colors work together. It's not an accident. Yeah.
Whoa. This is like the invisible hand making all the things happen in the world. Is that what we're hearing, Sharon?
It is. That's why they call it the Mafia.
Yes, the Illuminati, the Mafia, it's happening. But we have discovered it. Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence has sourced the accessibility dynamic through Sharon to the invisible hand controlling it all. We've got it. Bella, we can go home, or let's continue.
Let's continue because we need to introduce the man that brought us all together today from Seattle, Washington, 16 years as the president of the Lighthouse for the Blind, a PhD in leadership and change, the managing director of Innovative Impact LLC, managing in-fund innovations, high impact projects dedicated to making the world a more inclusive, equitable place. Let's welcome to his show, Dr. Kirk Adams.
Dr. Kirk Adams, long time no speak. It's probably been almost an hour. Appreciate you so much, Dr. Kirk, for everything that you bring forward in this world. Leader of leaders, integrity master, impact player. Sir, on your Heart of Influence, what's your fun fact, Dr. Kirk?
My fun fact is yesterday sitting on the front porch and a young lady approached an actual teenager offering to mow our lawn. And I have not seen an enterprising young person like that in a long time. So I said,
That's really
sure.
cool.
Yeah, it was
That
great.
is awesome.
She did.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell, she did a great job.
That is awesome. Well, Dr. Kirk, thank you for bringing hope back for the present entrepreneurial vision and heart of people. And shall we do the things, Dr. Kirk Adams?
Yeah, let's have fun.
Speaking of lawns, our co-host, this heart-centered, feisty, redheaded woman that harkens back to, I don't know, I Love Lucy, Alice on the Honeymooners, maybe Cher from the Little Sunny and Cher show. She too began her career on our parents' front lawn in influence, causing yes, selling crafts. By the age of 19, she was a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. You haven't heard that too often. Then how about this one? In the male-dominated industry of business brokerage, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, starting at the age of 24, but not in basketball. She's only 5'3", but in selling businesses. So at 24, 25, 26, she three-peats as the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. She's the first woman ever to do it and the youngest person, male or female, ever to do it. She's got some street cred, so she starts trading Fortune 500 companies and entrepreneurs. In fact, in 2019, Every sales team this amazing woman worked with doubled their sales. She's a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer. Maybe she learned how to do these things from a blind man, or maybe she learned it on YouTube. Depends on how she's feeling about the blind guy in that day. Published author, philanthropist, raising 8 figures with the Unblinded team over the past couple of years for a variety of charitable causes. And in 2023, this heart-centered, resilient leader publicly battled cancer and won. Let's welcome to her more than 800th episode of her show, the woman that put the heart in the heart of influence, Bella Verita. Bella Verita, welcome to your show, Dr. Kirk Adams' show, and please, your fun fact.
I don't know how much like all the fun fact this is, but it's just what is present for me as I'm coming up on tomorrow being the year anniversary of my cancer diagnosis. And then in a couple weeks getting ready to go to Grand Cayman, where the last time I was in Grand Cayman, I lost half my blood and had to get a blood transfusion. So my fun fact is I'm really looking forward to going back to Grand Cayman in a couple weeks and getting to scuba dive and not die. So that's my fun fact for today.
That is a truly powerful fun fact. And for everyone, that was one of the scariest experiences in my life. And Bella really was in a life-threatening situation in the final stages pre-surgery of her cancer journey. So that was quite the trip. And Bella lost more than half the hemoglobin in her body and was crazy. And she was still scuba diving. So Bella Verita, thank you for being here. And thank you for reminding me of that traumatic and inspirational moment. And please.
Yes, thank you for that, Sean. Thank you for being there. And speaking of, let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys who wins 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that was blind of 1.2 million attorneys. And in fact, the state of New Jersey thought he was so influential that they actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not doing incredible things, speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist that in the last 2 years raised nearly $10 million for charities through sustainable giving. Let's welcome to the show my co-host, Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella Verita. Thank you, Dr. Kirk Adams, for making this possible. And thank you, everybody, for being here today. And yes, my fun fact is often that I am a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive. And the fact that 9 months ago, I hit a shark while surfing that turned around and bit my surfboard. True story, out in the open wild. But I'm going to go with this one for today. I had the privilege with Dr. Kirk Adams of winning Tony Robbins' Business Mastery event with more than 600 teams. Dr. Kirk Adams' team won, and Tony Robbins was blown away by Dr. Kirk and everything that occurred, and we shattered the all-time Business Mastery single event charitable fundraising record. So that's my fun fact for today, Bella Verita.
That is a super fun fact, and Dr. Kirk happened to be talking about that in the green room.
That is super fun. Yes, Bella Verita. Who's going first?
Let's kick it off with Aaron.
Aaron, here's what we are doing. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence because whether it's having people shatter fundraising records at a Tony Robbins event, it's changing the course of history through new lawmaking or nation creation. We're almost at July 4th, or simply doubling, tripling our income, creating recruitment of teammates. All of these things happen after yes. But this is not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. Yuck. Who wants that? But what does it look like when heart-centered, sophisticated people get together and a yes really should happen? Because I believe that they're studying this principle for 27 years and being the creator of massive amounts of intellectual property and technology around it, that a lot of yeses, in fact, most yeses, Aaron, and everyone, that should happen don't happen. And it isn't just the bad yeses that happen. It's the ones that don't happen that should happen that I think really make the world a less optimal place. So, Aaron, Bella, to illustrate what this looks like, the science of influence is going to be anybody like her to be. She could be an ideal client. She could be a philanthropic fundraising partner. She could be somebody of impact that's super famous. I don't know, Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, whomever you choose that would make sense for you to go from hello to yes with. But again, this is substance over form. So the 3-minute conversation could simply be a yes to a longer conversation. It doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. So Aaron, please, who would you like Bella Verita to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Oh boy. Okay. I would like Bella to be either an assistive technology company or a law firm that is looking to reach a disabled audience.
Ooh, Bella, which one you want?
I'll be the owner of the law firm since I'm going to take over your law firm someday.
There you go.
All right, let's take us in, Bella.
Hello, this is Bella Verita.
Hello, Bella. How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I understand that you're looking to reach a disability audience, and we have 2 newsletters, each that reach 20,000 readers a piece each week. And the newsletters are not for profit, so you would be supporting a great cause. And I'd like to know if you're interested in learning more.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the publications. You know, obviously I understand that they, you know, reaches folks with disabilities. Is it a certain type of disability? Anyone that identifies having an and what is the purpose of the publications? Like, what do the readers gather from them?
Well, our readers span blind, low vision, deaf, hard of hearing, neurodivergent, and mobility disabilities as well. The publication was started in 2004 by a man named Dean Martineau. I'm sure Kirk probably knows Dean. He started gathering technology tidbits for disabled people at the time because there wasn't a mainstream publication for disabled people to receive specifically technology information for their specific disability. And people loved it. It grew so fast that he couldn't send it out using Outlook anymore. So he turned to another man named Larry Lewis, which any of you may or may not know. Larry decided to fund the publication for 14 years and turned to me as an international compliance manager to run the newsletter. So it's rooted in 2004, where we're talking a long time, probably 20,000 decision makers from, 20 different years, that the publication's been running, and we're trying to keep it running, so that's why I'm here to talk to you today.
Oh, that is beautiful. And so are you looking for, like, what does it look like? Is it we, invest, we write articles? Like, what is it that
No, actually, we have it set up for sponsorship packages which are actually advertising packages, but people prefer the word sponsorship because it looks better on the readership side. But you get a whole host of advertisement benefits. You get an advertisement in every newsletter. You get a featured advertisement every quarter because there's only one of those per issue. And there's press releases and a whole host of other benefits that I could discuss with you if you're interested in learning more. And we're only talking $100 a month here because these are not-for-profit publications. We're just trying to keep them alive. So there's no money to be made on our end.
Well, it seems easy enough. I think, that seems like it would be worth us doing. And, so let's have a conversation and see what we can do.
Sounds great, Bella. Thanks so much.
Excellent job, Aaron. Yeah, thank you, Bella. We'll get to some feedback in a moment. Bella, who is following up Aaron?
Following up Aaron is Kristy.
Is it Chrissy or Kristy?
Kristy.
Oh, Kristy. Okay, Kristy, who would you like Bella to be, please?
Okay, Bella, I would like you to be a leading superstar architect who wants to create a more inclusive world.
Oh, Bella, you're a superstar. We know that, but now as an architect, create an inclusive world. Take us in, please.
I do want to be an architect someday. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. This is Kristy Vanek from Otis Elevator Company. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
Doing really well, too. I'm really excited to meet with you today to talk about how we can build a more inclusive future.
I heard that's what we had a call on the calendar for, but I wasn't sure what exactly that meant.
Yeah, so for me, I know that so much goes into a building, and I focus on the vertical transportation, on the elevators and the escalators. And we've come a long way over the past decades, like adding Braille to elevators after the advent of the Americans with Disabilities Act. But there's still a lot that needs to be done so that people with various disabilities can get off the ground floor independently and with confidence.
Yeah, and I could not agree more, Kristy. And so, Kristy, what are you looking from us for? How do you call us?
Yeah, I called you because I know you're interested in inclusion, and I think that there's so much that can be done with an elevator to improve the wayfinding, the audio cues, the visual cues, to make sure that the doors stay long enough open for people with various disabilities to enter. And I think that the architecture community is a really important place to have this conversation, because once a building gets its elevator, that elevator may be there for generations.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Because I'm still unclear, are you looking for us to partner? Do you want us to design elevators for you? Or want to recommend clear on what it is why you reached out to us and what it is you want us to do?
Yeah, Bella, thank you. So I reached out to you because I would like us to partner to install the world's most accessible elevator at one of your future projects.
Got it. So you're looking for us to maybe partner with you to design something that maybe goes in all buildings, an upgrade to current elevators that could possibly go into more buildings. Did I hear that? Am I understanding that correctly?
Well, we'll design the elevator at Otis. I'm looking for you as a potential customer, and we could definitely co-create to still meet your aesthetic preferences and needs, though.
Oh, so you're looking for us to install your elevators in our buildings?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I don't, then maybe the next building that we design, we can reach out and see if there's something that we could do.
That would be great. Thank you, Bella.
Thank you,
Kristy,
Kristy.
awesome job. Yes, those elevators are definitely not fun for me. So thank you, Kristy. That is super awesome. Aaron, great job. Bella, I do believe it is time for the feedbackers.
It is time for the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback. That's 30 seconds of feedback for either Aaron. There's got a little timer on the screen there. 30 seconds of feedback for either Aaron or Kristy. Something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little next step scoring system. So would your next step be you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have to have a longer conversation with Kristy or Aaron? I don't think either one of them were that bad. I think they were pretty great. So the next step might be a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Maybe you're going to have a little mocha chocolate or matcha latte with Aaron or Kristy to get to know more about what they do. Or maybe that next step is something like a Capital Grille dinner, where you're going to rent a private room and you're going to have the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, and maybe you're having salad and French fries. But you're not going to skip dessert and coffee because you want to have the longest conversation possible with Kristy or Aaron. Or you are so intrigued and there's so much more you want to know about Kristy or Aaron that you are willing to rent a private jet, of course, stop and pick up Dr. Kirk Adams and fly anywhere in the world with Kristy or Aaron. Just have to have the longest conversation as possible. So Corey, Sunshine, let's kick it off with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Aaron?
Hey, Aaron, I think you did really well. You showed a ton of knowledge, which I actually really appreciated, the background of the publication, how much it would cost. It almost what I like to say, perked my ears in a way, so wanted to learn more and all of that sort of stuff. I would definitely choose the Capital Grille dinner. And of course, if you do drink, would of course include a nice bottle of wine, because who doesn't love a good bottle of wine? So yeah.
Awesome. Feeling that and hearing that, and yes, Bill Rita, wine is flowing. In Vino Veritas, we got this. Let's go.
Wine is definitely flowing when you're around. There's lots of whining always happening. But I don't think you're talking about that kind of wine. Let's go. Malcolm. Malcolm, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Kristy? Oh, just unmute for us, Malcolm.
Operator error. I agree with the comments. I think the tone, it was very comfortable, inviting, approachable, and without being overbearing. And it's a good thing to listen. And I think her the active listening skills rather, were excellent. I'm always up for a steak dinner, and I do think that conversation was worthy of another meeting, so you can drill down a little further and get to that yes.
Malcolm, love that. Appreciate that feedback for sure. Great job. And let's go, Annabelle. Annabelle, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Erin?
Erin, I was really blown away with your depth of knowledge about your magazine, your publication, and how you talked a lot about sort of the history of it, and also offered what kind of perks would come with contributing to your magazine. It's only $100, and you can have an advertisement in the magazine. You're going to be featured, and that it's not really a lot of money to invest, and that it also it's not about giving money back to your business. It's about just kind of keeping this product flowing that shares information and supports the community. So I was really impressed with your kind of sell. It wasn't like a hard sell. It was more like, this is a really beautiful thing that you can participate in if you'd like to, and you weren't pushy. So I appreciated that.
Thank you.
And Annabelle, is it like a cup of coffee, seafood tower and steak, private jet? What would it be next?
I think it would be a seafood dinner, because it's really, I think he would be great company, and it'd be nice to have a long evening with him and just kind of pick his brain a little bit more about his magazine and the publication and some of the stories that were behind it.
Bella, Annabelle's got some brain picking and lobster tearing up. Let's go.
You've got some brains ticking. Absolutely love that, Annabelle. Thank you for that. And let's go, Jennifer. Jennifer, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Kristy?
Great, thank you. Kristy, I really love your focus and the way that you are really clear that, like, we're looking at vertical transportation, we're thinking about accessibility. I just wanted to know more. I wanted to know more sooner about what you were selling exactly. So like, it's the elevator that we're giving to you, and also to know more about what you're doing in the elevator that's innovative around accessibility. Like, how are you taking it to the next level accessibility wise? So intrigued enough, definitely, to sit down with you for a meal. Want to hear more. Yeah, great story. Thank you.
Jennifer, thank you. And what do we got? We got a seafood tower, cup of coffee, private jet. What's next?
Sorry, that would be the dinner, to sit down and hear more about what's happening here.
Got it, the dinner. Thank you very much for that, Jennifer. We're going to eat well, Bella. Come on.
We are definitely eating well in Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence. And let's go. Oh, can you guys hear me? Oh my God.
Now we have you. Yep.
I don't. Oh my God. Can you guys hear me? I'm having technology issues.
Yes.
Okay. So next up, we've got Sharon. Sharon, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Erin?
Actually, I would love to give feedback for Kristy, because I've spent much of my career working with architects. Can I do that?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So I was very intrigued, because I haven't ever heard anybody talking about that, Kristy. So I think you would get really good traction with the architects that you're trying to approach. And I would want to know your ask, right? So I've been training salespeople for many years. I'd want to know your ask. and architects are historically underpaid. So they're not going to be taking you out for any seafood towers, but they're going to be expecting you to come to their office and bring them food. So if I would love that you would get in front of that person's whole team and teach them all about how they can make their buildings more accessible through this wonderful new innovation that you're offering.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sharon. Maybe we'll PF Chang delivery. Sharon, what do you think?
Yeah, PF Chang's would be good. That the price point is wouldn't break the bank for Kristy.
All right, let's go. Bella Verita.
I love that. Thank you for that, Sharon. And let's go, Jared. Jared, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Aaron?
Aaron, really enjoyed hearing your pitch. I think from me as an audience member, your tone and your pace was very comforting in a way. Like the way that you spoke softly and you spoke with not too quickly, and like everyone I think could follow along. And it was enjoyable to listen to. And I think when you put us at ease, that makes the sale a bit easier. So and I also really enjoyed the mission. So excited to learn more. I think I would also take a steak dinner, maybe a buffet, like a really nice buffet.
All right, Jared's got the buffet. We got this going on, Bella. We fed people today. People are being fed on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence, Bella.
They are being fed 100%. And last but not least, let's go Dr. Kirk. Dr. Kirk, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Kristy?
Kristy. Yeah, I heard the sunshine in your voice when you said hello at the very beginning. I wrote that down. You had you asked a rapport building question, which was open-ended, which was good. Asked her how she was. You acknowledged the importance of the architectural industry, and then when you talked about toward the end, when you said, I want to work with you to install the world's most accessible elevator, you had great aspirational energy and certainty, and I think if you led with that, it would have been a more powerful 3 minutes, but it was certainly powerful when you said it. And awesome. I would like to take the longest elevator ride with Kristy up to a rooftop restaurant somewhere and talk about elevators.
Let's go. Kristy, are you seeing potentially the accessibility possibilities of the Wonkavator? Like, does the Wonkavator resonate with you, Kristy?
Like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory elevator?
Yes. Well, Charlie went through the glass ceiling.
Sure, we could have a giant journey. Yeah.
And you could, yes, we got this. All right. I am clear now, Bella Verita, the purpose of our gathering today was to create and bring to life with Kristy the Wonkavator. I can go home now or not. Dr. Kirk Adams,
that would be extraordinary.
Yes. Dr. Kirk Adams, you know what time it is. Bella Verita wants to put me on the spot. She likes doing that. Bella, take it easy on me, please. Dr. Kirk, come on, brother. We're friends. Bella, over to you.
I'll see what I can do. And just to be clear, the cool thing would not to have you on the show, but to have a Wonka elevator, that is super fun. Dr. Kirk and everyone, this is the time in the show that I've been the privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up as the show's been going on. Ultimately, Dr. Kirk, you get to choose what scenario that Sean goes from hello to yes on. You can change anything about the scenarios, or you can scrap them all together and come up with someone much, much harder on your own. I think today is going to be a hard choice because these are some good ones, but Dr. Kirk, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so option number one is I love Jared's technology, and I love going to baseball games with Sean, but I am terrible at telling him who's on what base and who's got the ball and who's in the outfield and what all the things are going on. So option number one is Sean would role play Jared going from hello to yes with David Stevenson, who is the CEO of the National Baseball League, of bringing this technology to every baseball stadium in America so that we could listen to baseball games live while we're there with audio assist. And then after the National Baseball League, then we're going to the NFL. But that's option number one, Dr. Kirk. Option number two is I thought Sean could role play Aaron, going from Hello to Yes with the CEO of Starbucks, for Starbucks to sponsor their newsletter and possibly even distribute the newsletter as well to all the Starbucks employees and their patrons. So that is option number 2. And then option number 3, Dr. Kirk, as you know, Sean and I travel quite a bit. We typically stay at Marriott. And so option number 3 is Sean would go from Hello to Yes with the CEO of Marriott to replace all Marriott elevators with Kristy's Wonkavators. So those are my 3 options I have for you today, Dr. Kirk. Any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much harder you'd like to see Sean do?
I also stay at Marriott's, and I was in one recently, and there was 0 audio output from the elevator. And talking to Kristy about that, she said, hotels just turn them off. So I'm going Wonkavator.
Wonkavator with Marriott. And so, Dr. Kirk, shall we have Malcolm play the CEO of Marriott?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Malcolm,
And what is
are you up for playing? Are you up for playing the role of the Marriott CEO? And Sean, your objective, you're going from Hello to Yes because you want Marriott to replace all their elevators with Kristy's Wonkavators to make it easier for the visually impaired.
Sure.
All right. And we'll call you
All
Mr.
right.
Jones. Is that okay,
Mr.
Malcolm?
Jones? Okay.
So, hello, is Mr. Jones available?
Yes, this is Mr. Jones.
Hi, Mr. Jones. This is Kristy. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
I'm a little short on time, but go ahead.
Okay. Would you like to reschedule, or is this time still work?
No. This is fine. With my schedule, it's hard to reach me. So let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, thank you. I know we got 2 minutes and 50 seconds of counting. We'll keep to that time. I know how busy you are. I'm super grateful. But to make sure I serve you and we hit an outcome that makes sense for you, because it's about you, not me. In this time frame, Mr. Jones, what prompted you to accept this conversation? I'm very, very grateful. I know how busy you are, but why did you accept this conversation in the first place, please?
Well, it really sort of hit home. Number one, it's an accessibility issue. And I take our safety record, I take our being inclusive, extremely important. Unfortunately, in the chain of command, this issue didn't reach me. So that's why I really wanted to speak to someone that had an objective view.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And I'm hearing the overall mission, vision, purpose of Marriott is certainly to serve customers, to have a massive impact on families, life, business people, having extraordinary and magical experiences in the space with safety, but also with the heart and sensitivity to diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Jones?
Yes, you summed that up quite nicely, Sean.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, well, sorry, my name is Kristy.
Kristy.
Yeah. And so, Mr. Jones, with that, can I share a couple of things that may or may not resonate with you in our final minute or so together, please?
Certainly.
So very often, when folks are talking in the accessibility space, it becomes about, of course, you want to service blind people, you want to be inclusive, or other people with disabilities, which is a known. Yeah, of course we do. And it's also a legal dynamic. But how I approach this conversation is from a broader context. Yes, of course, we want to deliver accessibility. Yes, of course, we want to be legally compliant. But what if this could also be an identity boost for Marriott? What if this could be something magical and extraordinary in the space of elevators, and also a press release, a talking point for Marriott, not just saying, hey, we're good people, we're increasing our accessibility, but what if there could be innovative, powerful design in these elevators beyond just the accessibility factors? How would that resonate with you, Mr. Jones?
No, Kristy, you've piqued my interest. Whenever we can do well by doing good for others, I'm all for it.
Exactly. And so here's a thought, and I know we're at time, and I'm simply proposing a 30-minute follow-up conversation. But the movie Willy Wonka has brought forth, with Mr. Chalamet, one of the most powerful new visions of magic, fun, icon. And what if we've created a relationship with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is one of the most iconic children brands of all time, that is like driving for at this point with the new movie. And we could create a Wonkavator for Marriott that wouldn't be just childish, but magically impactful. And if not, we have two other designs that were really clear are going to resonate with Marriott to not only, as you said, do good, but do well. So, Mr. Jones, how would it land for you to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation to do something that's good, accessible, legal, and massively magical that could really rocket forward Marriott in the space of hospitality to a new level?
I will admit I'm not really up on Willy Wonka. So you almost lost me there. However, you did say there were other options. So I really would like to go ahead and have another meeting when we have more time and I'm not as rushed. But the fact that you have prepared options for me, we need to make sure it's on brand with Marriott. But I'm really excited now about having this follow-up.
Yeah, and I assure you, Mr. Jones, we're not talking about something trite with the Wonka concept, but the other two concepts would be a little bit more conservative. So one of those three will resonate very powerfully, I assure you. And shall I set that up with your team?
Perfect. In fact, same time next week would be good if you're available.
Perfect. Yes, I am. And we'll set that ... Thank you, Malcolm, out of role, coming back in a moment. Kristy, how did I do as you having a conversation with Mr. Jones, the CEO of Marriott? Please, Kristy.
Yes, thank you. I appreciated your perspective, and I think you lost me too a little bit with the Wonkavator, but I'm going to find this recording to play it back for myself again, because I was not taking copious notes, but I think I should have been.
Well, thank you for that, Kristy. And Kristy, how was your time overall on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
It was really wonderful. Thank you.
Absolutely great job. Thank you. Let's go, Aaron. Thanks for all that you're up to in the world. Thanks for jumping into the challenging participant seat. And Aaron, how was your time today on Dr. Kirk Adams' Heart of Influence?
It was magnificent. You guys have a great show. You have a great format. You have some great people, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Appreciate you a ton. And Malcolm, thank you for jumping into the Mr. Jones, CEO of Marriott role, also being the feedbacker seat. And Malcolm, how was your time today on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
This really was invaluable. I tried to throw you a few curveballs, John. And literally you were ready for every one of them. This is I will say it's the highlight of the day, but of the week and of the month and of my year so far. Just to be amongst like-minded people it's a blessing.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure, Malcolm, and thank you for bringing your heart, your wisdom to the space, for sure. Let's go, Annabelle. Thank you for being the feedbacker seat. Thank you and appreciate you. And please, how was your time today on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
Really interesting. As I mentioned, I'm curious, and so I came to this trying to be as open-minded as possible. It's been kind of fun. I love that it's all about being really present and really listening and paying attention and not being distracted, because we're all being asked to give feedback and participate. And yeah, I'm interested about it.
Yeah, cool. And here's the simple reality, right? For all of us, all businesses built on relationships, all relationships are built on shared experiences. So the question becomes, how do we have an efficient shared experience that brings forward people's identity in an organized manner that isn't boring snooze city and makes people want to leave and say, this is like everything else I've ever done. It was 2020, and Dr. Kirk Adams had just come off a stage at the original Unblinded immersion amongst many other incredibly impactful people. We had 1,300 people at the event. Things were off to the absolute races, mission accelerating, and then a little thing called COVID happened. This show saved Unblinded from like launching and crashing, and it has been a massively impactful piece. And after COVID ended, we just kept moving with it because so many incredible relationships were formed here. And we always say this, like, you can have a cup of coffee, when we have a cup of coffee, who's edifying you? Who's introducing you? What does conversation sound like? And with great humility and absolute respect, I have built numerous businesses into the 8-figure space, and one of them is approaching $100 million valuation. And the dynamic of how we create relationships, how we merge ecosystems, and exponentially scale sales meetings is what all business growth is about. And so this is just a fun little cup of coffee that is the beginning of rapid acceleration. So thank you for that. And Bella Verita, who is some other extraordinary people here.
We do have some extraordinary people here. Kicking us off into the judge's seat was Miss Corey Pound, otherwise known as Sunshine, bringing her sunshine energy. How was your time with us on The Heart of Influence?
I had a lot of fun. I really loved meeting everyone and just seeing what people have done and are continuing to do in the accessibility space. So it's really inspiring. And so, yeah, really loved this. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. And let's go, Jared. Jared, I cannot wait for your technology to be in all sports arenas so I can go to more sporting games with Sean. But how was your time with us on The Heart of Influence?
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much again for having me. I feel like not only did I get introduced to some great work that's being done in this space, but also got to listen and dissect some of the pitches, which is great, and hear perspectives on that. I feel like I'm always pitching and presenting, so it's great to see some of the behind the scenes.
Thank you, Jared. Excellent job.
That's excellent. Excellent job. And let's go, Sharon, with your Color Mafia, kicking off the Mafia vibes on The Heart of Influence here. How was your time with us on The Heart of Influence?
I loved it. Definitely made my day. It's a great group of participants. I was so happy to be invited. And Sean, I loved watching you get Malcolm to yes. So, you got him to the next meeting, and the next meeting went from 3 minutes to 30 minutes. So that was awesome. And a lot of takeaways there. So thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing your mastery to the space, Sharon. Thank you. Bella.
What an incredible group of individuals here today. It's just extraordinary. Let's go last but not least, we get to our co-host, Jennifer. Jennifer, how was your time with us on Dr. Kirk's Heart of Influence?
A real learning experience. I do a lot of work with graduate students on how to pitch their research. Very different, although also some overlaps with what we saw today, and also just so exciting to hear about some of the efforts that were presented today. So thank you for including me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Jennifer, for sure, and for being in the space, right? And I would be remiss if I didn't share this piece at the end. So we had some fun today, but we want to really make sure we lock in value and truth. The work that we do, we've had the privilege, because you're all doing really important work in the world, of shattering fundraising records in all sorts of different places, spaces, and with people, creating profoundly disrupted jury verdict consulting processes with top jury verdict consulting firms. We've taken shattered marketing and sales records in all sorts of different verticals. And it's this piece that I would want to give from my heart to everybody, because I've driven all these different spaces. People decide emotionally. And in our second top 100 national jury verdict that I had the privilege of having as a blind man, our federal judge, Judge Jonathan Campbell, who is as fine a federal judge as you're going to have, actually had a court rule in his courtroom against emotion, which is the only thing that I thought Judge Campbell was banana sandwiches about, because everything is decided emotionally and justified logically. And in that case, after a month in a federal trial, and in an insane case that he called the most hotly contested matter he'd ever had before him, when it was over, his jury foreperson was going to read the verdict. That's what he told us from the beginning of the trial. That's what he announced that morning. Hey, in my courtroom, the jury foreperson reads the verdict. He looked at it, he looked around the courtroom, and he said, I think I'll read this one. Because he was so filled with emotion about the lies and the lack of integrity that had been in his courtroom. So I so often work with super sophisticated, hyper intelligent human beings who make cases at the, Harvard Law School graduates, Yale Law School grads, who believe that the smartest person in the room wins. And that's not the case at all. The person who wins is the person who can open the mind, then open the heart, and justify the mind from the heart. And that's how yes is caused at the most exponentially accelerated levels. And that includes capital raising, all of it. And I only share that because this is the work of my life for 27 years. So thank you all for that. Dr. Kirk Adams, please, your final.
Oh, this is my happiest hour every month. I think coming up on 4 years of hosting these shows with you, it just gets better and better and better. Thank you, Bella, for bringing the heart to the heart of influence. Thank you, Sean, for creating this space and making it available to me. I love it.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Kirk Adams, I appreciate you enormously. I know we're over time, tight on time. And so we have 3 gifts for you. We have our book on exactly everything I just talked about. We have the ability to come back next Wednesday and meet other extraordinary people and go through a training. Nothing is sold there. And we have a business acceleration session. If people really want to get some more of what we're talking about, because there's a lot more here, you're welcome to it. Nothing will be sold to you in that session. And Bella Verita, on your behalf, unless there's anything you want to share really quickly before we go, I know we're over. Any final real quick, Belle?
Just final, thank you all for being here. And, what Sean does do in that magic moment is impressive. There is that, so definitely check out that book because there is a formula for that. And just join us next Wednesday because we would love to have you all back and continue the relationship. So thank you all for being here. Dr. Kirk, great job. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do say this, like the people that we want to work with are the people who understand that on the other side, we call it unblinded, because on the other side of seeing what we don't see is our next level of acceleration. Like things move differently at seismically different speeds for people based upon the mastery of their influence, where they point it, and how they emotionally get themselves to use it. And that's what we mean by unblinded. And we do end every show by saying this for fun. I may be blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain that as the possibilities for acceleration that sit in front of all of us, I believe that everyone, sighted or not, at some level, Bella Verita is blind.
I'm just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you, everybody.